What's going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricardo coming back at you with another video. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it's the new league year, guys. It's here. Every team has had to get their salary cap situation straight. Frenzy started on Monday, and everybody can actually officially sign. So all those deals that we talked about, Monday and Tuesday, we were just, you know, just a agreement, right? Today, guys was able to go in and they can sign it now. It's official. Just reported that Kirk Cousins is officially a Atlanta Falcons, signed that 4-year, $180 million deal. I think he's actually scheduled to do a press conference at 7:45 tonight. So, guys, definitely be on the lookout on that. If I don't be able to catch it, because I still be on here, definitely go back and listen to that because I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Um, Also, the tight end that they brought in as well, Warner, he actually been announced as well. So that's where the Atlanta Falcons at today. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what free agents out there that's left, and then we're going to talk about just around the league, guys. To me, this is when it been one of the most interesting off season throughout the NFL because I think a lot of teams actually made a lot of improvements, and it's going to be tough to actually win games this year all over the league, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's really going to be exciting. So we're going to talk about that. So guys, if you had not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about. That's right, these Atlanta Falcons. So first of all, right off the bat, my thoughts on the off season so far, where we're at to right now, right? So Atlanta Falcons have not made a lot of moves, but I think they nailed the biggest and the most important move they had to make this off season, and that was solidifying their quarterback position. Um, Kirk Cousins coming in just announced that he signed, so you know that's the first thing they had to do. They really had to get that nailed down. That was the one thing that if you listen to Terry Fontenot, you listen to Raheem Morris when they was at the NFL Combine, you listen to them when they was at the press conference when he got introduced, right? They talked about they had to figure that out. So it's done. That's figured out. We know who our sitting caller going to be. Um, so now they can try to finish out the rest of this roster and figure out how they're going to do that, right? Still got a lot of more moves I think they got to make. I anticipated some today, but they probably come later on this week. They had to get these guys signed first, and they still probably working. Looking, at some pros out there. We know our staff has a lot of good pro scouts out there, so they're gonna find some diamonds in the rough. I know right now it look a little bleak if you're looking at some of the big top names. Guys are getting paid, man. That $30 million extra cap hit helps a lot of teams. So a lot of guys are getting paid. People's are getting their money, and it's really nothing we can really do about it. We just got to deal with that situation where a lot of guys. I think like the Atlanta Falcons went after our second target that we wanted, and that was Daniil Hunter. They actually offered him more money, and more years than what the Houston Texans offered him, but he decided to go home. He's from Houston. He got that 48 million guaranteed. I think the Atlanta Fox reportedly they would try to offer him 3 years, 75 million. I don't know how much the guarantees were, but it was going to be close around that number. But he decided to go to Houston, so we lost out on him. We thought that the Chargers May was going to do something with Khalil Mack, but he decided to restructure his contract, so they only had to release Mike Williams, right? The first day of free agency, we definitely lost out on all the other pass rushers that we could have been looking at. Greenyard, the kid Brian Burns was one. Jay Huff is another one. Um, so I don't know, it's not Jay Huff, but who talk about Huff. So all those guys came off the board really quick. So that's where the Atlanta Falcons was. Just reported that Jadavion Clowney just signed with the the Carolina Panthers, guys. It's hot, hot, hot. And if I miss somebody, if I call out somebody that don't sign since I've been on here, I'm not looking at the alerts right now. So just let me know. But basically what I'm saying is it's just really been busy. Money's out there, guys are getting paid. I think the Atlanta Falcons did their due diligence to try to go, get another big splash after they signed Kirk Cousins. They just were not able to do that. So right now, so far, they have signed Kirk Cousins, Charlie Warner. We haven't heard the official signing of Darnell Mooney yet, but we should hear that pretty soon. And that's where we're at right now. I still anticipate the Atlanta Falcons to do something with the cap space, restructures, maybe potential cuts. Um, they might even keep three quarterbacks on this roster, which would mean to me, I would see them kind of restructuring and redoing Taylor Heineke's contract as well, because I really don't see Taylor Heineke playing on that contract, especially when you still have Desmond Ritter here as well. So I mean, that's three quarterbacks. You can have three quarterbacks on this roster, but it's a lot of money going to the quarterback position. So we'll just have to see what they decide to do with Taylor Heineke's contract. Anticipate that it actually, like I said, might get restructured, and that just could be the case, right? So we'll just have to wait and see if that how that pans out. Um, but so far, um, I really like what we have done. Right, it's been quieter than I would like. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of thought the Falcons going to do sort of like what they did last year. But the biggest thing they had to do was get the quarterback nailed down. Now I think the Atlanta Falcons can actually take a step back and regroup and look at the draft board, look at some of the free agents, figure out how they're going to fill the rest of some of these other holes that they got on this team, right? They still have potential to bring back some of our free agents that we had in Bud Dupree and Calais Campbell. Both of those guys are still on the market right now. So Atlanta Falcons have an opportunity to bring those guys back. And like I said, we're going to get into some other top free agents out there, but so it's not as bad as you seem. Just the big name guys, the guys that was going to make a lot of money, is really off the board. That's what we've seen so far in these last 3 days. One big note is that it's been officially determined that the Atlanta Falcons will get the 79th pick from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's where we're at with that. They were not able to sign Calvin Ridley. So in essence, they got Calvin Ridley from 1 year a rental, gave us a third round pick, and a fifth round pick, and he signed with the Tennessee Titans. Congratulations to him. $92 million, $50 million guaranteed. I guess the Jacksonville Jaguars was not willing to pay that after they signed Gabe Davis. So we did not get our second round pick, but guess what? Good on them, because they should have not been trying to hold out and not give a second round pick. They should have went on to sign Calvin Ridley earlier, and maybe they would have got their money. So too bad for them, too sad for them. Thank you for our third and our fifth round pick. Right? We got believe it or not, we got Jeff Okuda with that fifth round pick last year, right? And now we'll see who will get in this third round pick with the 79th pick. The Atlanta Falcons have 4 picks in the top 80 in the draft. So they have a great opportunity to build depth around this roster, and that's what we're going to see. So I like that, right? We was not able to get that second round pick that we wanted, but the Jacksonville did not get Calvin Ridley. So I guess we're kind of even there, because they kind of showed their hand. I think they was trying to wait until after the new league year, but then the Titans pounced in and paid him more than they probably would have paid him, and they lost him. So that's what I like. They should not have waited. They should have went on and did that thing. Um, yeah, they screwed themselves. And believe it or not, guys, if you're not looking at, like I said, around the league, you look at the Tennessee Titans. They did a really good job this offseason building around their young quarterback. You got to remember, Hopkins is already there. They bring Cam Ridley. They got Tony Pollard, right? Um, they have a good roster around the young quarterback. So I kind of like what they did. Moving on from Derrick Henry, it's like they're gonna have a different, style offense, probably a little bit more open than ground and pound, the style that they had so many years with Derrick Henry. So the AFC South is going to be really tough. And if you look around the moves around that division, the Houston Texans, the moves they made, getting a guy like Daniil Hunter, um, getting their running back that they wanted from Cincinnati. They was able to trade for him yesterday. They already had a great rookie draft class last year. So I like what the Houston Texans is doing as well. So AFC South is really going to be exciting this year. We don't play those teams from the AFC South, so we'll see them, and maybe in a couple of years or something like that. So we don't have to worry about those guys this year, but that's going to be an exciting division to watch. Turn out, and I think Jacksonville maybe took a step back. About some of the losses they had. They was able to franchise tag Josh Allen, but they still have not gave him a long-term deal yet. We'll see how that pans out. But you know, that's where we're at, guys. Right now, 3 players that we have picked up. We still haven't heard anything about AJ Terrell contract. Where that lies. So I think it's a lot of more work that Atlanta Falcons need to get done. I'm not concerned because if you look at the track record of this front office for the last 3 seasons, it's really been like they have a good idea of what they're doing, and that's what you like to see. A lot of times, it seems like some guys might be clueless or something like that, and they don't know what's going on. But you look at what the Atlanta Falcons have been doing for the last 3 years. It seems like they have a plan. It's well thought out, and they execute what they're trying to do. They miss out on guys. It's not a fault of their own because I think they try to go get guys. But they're just not able to nail those guys for whatever reason it is. Um, you know, I bid it, situations where the player might be going, things like that. So they're just missing out on the guys that they're trying to get. But the effort is there, and that's what you like to see. You don't like, guys say they're gonna be aggressive, but then just sit in their hands and not making things happen. So even though we missed out on some of these big name pass rushers, maybe you could do it the way they've been doing it, the last 3 seasons, going out finding diamonds, guys that come up and play. I mean, look at a guy like Nate Lemon, who was an undrafted free agent, played really well last year, had 111 tackles. I mean, D. Alford, another guy, came from the Canadian Football League, a guy that was a starter last year to start the season. So this pro scouting team that we have, it does a really good job going out finding guys diamonds in the rough. I don't see a problem with them going to do that this year. So we'll just have to see what moves they make moving forward. And I anticipate, for the rest of this week, we should be seeing a couple more moves, not a whole lot, but I think the day was really about the Atlanta Falcons just, getting their quarterback in, getting his press conference, down to hear what he has to say because he's the new face of the franchise. For right now, the foreseeable future, we'll see. You know, how it turns out. He got a 4-year deal. Bringing in that blocking tight end Charlie Warner, which tells me you kind of give you an idea what the kind of offense we're going to be running. We're still going to run the ball. And I love it. I love it. You got to be able to utilize Tyler Jerry. You got to be able to utilize Bijan Robinson. So bringing that type of guy in kind of free up Kyle Pitts to do some of the things he do spectacular, which is create mismatches out there and be dynamic, in open space. That's what we want to see from a guy like Kyle Pitts. All right, guys. So let's talk about some of the top free agents left, right? So obviously the Atlanta Falcons still have holes they got to fill, right? They got 8 picks in the draft. We already know that they're going to be able to pick up some depth there. They have no 7-round picks, so that's a. Sometimes you think about that, they can start getting on the phones and start giving undrafted guys that's out there that's not going to get drafted, and you can get a head start on that. So I kind of like the way they looking at this. The Indianapolis Colts is signing Joe Flacco, so he's going to be the backup for the Indianapolis Colts, right? They lost Gardner Minshew to the Las Vegas Raiders. We know Anthony Richardson got hurt last year, so bringing in a veteran like Joe Flacco was a good pickup for them. That just popped across the screen. But guys, let's look at some of our free agents that's out there right now. So um want to talk about some wide receivers that's out there right now. We just talked about the quarterback. Joe Flacco's off the board, but Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, um, Joshua Dobbs, and Carson Wentz is some of the top names out there. It's more than that, but those guys are the top guys out there. As far as running backs, and this is for the Dallas Cowboys because they really missed out on all the running backs. I thought definitely sure they was going to be able to grab one of those big name guys, but J.K. Dobbins is out there. A.J. Dillon's out there. Cordell Patterson, Alexander Madison, Ezekiel Elliott, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So all those guys out there running backs. For as receivers, so Atlanta Falcons did pick up Darnell Mooney. You expect Atlanta Falcons to go into the draft and pick up another receiver there as well. But if you look at some of the veteran receivers out there, we see that Mike Williams just got released today, kind of injury prone. I don't know if that would be a good idea for them to go down that route. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, is a guy that they can definitely get. If they still want to get a burner, they already picked up Mooney, so I don't know if they want to double down on that. Um, the ultimate slot guy, slant guy, and Michael Thomas got released by the New Orleans Saints, so we get to see that right there. Odell Beckham Jr. still out there. It'd be interesting to see where he landed. I'm sure I don't think the Atlanta Falcons would have interest, but maybe because they do have familiarity with Zach Robinson and um, Raheem Morris, so maybe that could be something. I'm not sure. Hunter Renfro, a guy, just catch balls out of Raiders. He finally got released by the Las Vegas Raiders. Curtis Samuel coming out from the Commanders. Tyler Boyd, we talked about him earlier. 29-year-old guy, maybe still have some left, something to prove. We'll just have to find out where he ends up. One guy that I'm really interested in because we got Kirk Cousins, and that's KJ Osborne. So, just reuniting Kirk with somebody that he is already familiar with to help the other guys, on the squad, kind of get, the rhythm, how he like to play, how he like to throw the ball. KJ Osborne is a guy that make a lot of big plays if you go watch what he did over, the last couple of seasons. So I like that idea of going to get a guy like KJ Osborne, maybe a Hunter Renfro or somebody like that, but even a Marquise Brown. But those are guys, if they want to go back into free agency and get a receiver, those are guys that definitely they could consider at that point. Offensive line, we did lose Matt Hennessy to the Philadelphia Eagles. So right now we did sign Ryan Newsel, right? So we do have a center um to stand in for Drew Dahlman if he was to go down again. But it is some big name offensive linemen out there. Tyron Smith, Dallas Cowboys, Trent Brown, Jonah Williams, DJ Humphrey just got released coming off an injury. Connor Williams, he's a center guard combo. Kevin Zeichler and Dalton Reiser. We talked about Dalton Reiser last year. I thought that a guy they maybe want to pick up in free agency. So another guard that's out there, especially because we didn't have a guard. But I think from our guard standpoint, with um, Matthew Bergeron and Chris Lindstrom, I like our two guards on this roster. So that's good. Then you go to the defensive lineman, which is where the Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion, need to really kind of look at and see what they need to do. You look at a guy like Chase Young, who's still out there. Would the Atlanta Falcons be interested in him? Of course, Calais Campbell. Um, I just like his veteran presence, a guy that, in my opinion, definitely um, could come back and help out these young talented guys. So I don't know the interest of the Falcons with Calais Campbell. I don't know the interest of Calais Campbell as well. Michael said bring back Hodge. Maybe they might bring back. I think they're still going to look at their free agents that we got, our own free agents. So maybe Cordell Hodge is the guy they might consider. Like I said, this guy is a perennial special teamer. So that's how he stays in this league. Playing on special teams, even though they're trying to change a lot of their special teams rules now. So that's gonna hurt some guys. Guys that been guys like Cordell Hodge been in this league a long time because of his special teams. play, you know, to kick off rules and things like that. It's definitely going to hurt his stock as well. But you guys, we just announced Jadeveon Clowney just signed with the Carolina Panthers, so we got to deal with him next year. Um, Tyrese Bowser, guy the Baltimore Ravens just released an edge rusher. Um, Emmanuel Ogba, edge, another guy that's out there. Eric Armstead, um, definitely could be a big pickup for Atlanta Falcons if they want to go down that route. See if they get a Eric Armstead. DJ Reader is another guy just coming off two big injuries though. I don't know if the Atlanta Falcons go there. Then Sheldon rankings for defensive lineman. So guys, there's just the big names. It's more out there. Like I said, our staff can definitely find diamonds in the rough, guys that's not on this list I just talked about. And like you think about a guy like Contavious Street last year came in, played really well for us. He's not on this roster, but guys like that. So you don't have to go out and get the big name guys. You get guys that plug and play and just create that depth on this roster. That's what you're trying to do. Um, Linebackers, I'm surprised Devin White is still out there. He's only 26 years old from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I'm surprised he's still out there. Um, then you look at the safeties. Guys, a lot of good safeties that's out there. Cameron Curl, um, hard hitting safety from the Commanders. Kyle Duggar, Justin Simmons. Swiss Urban Knife play linebacker, safety. He's all over the place. You love a guy like that. Pro Bowler. Julian Blackman, Jamal Adams, another hard hitting safety. Great blitzing safety. Jordan Fuller, um, Quadron Diggs, Michael Hyde, and Eddie Jackson. Those are our safeties out there. So if the Atlanta Falcons are thinking about, considering, doing something with the safety position, that's what they could do. Then you look at the cornerbacks. I think where the Atlanta Falcons need to go get another veterans here. You guys got like Kendall Fuller, Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Howard, Adoree Jackson, Trey Davius White, Christian Fulton, Steven Nelson, Avante Maddox, and then a guy that's familiar with Raheem Morris was on the Rams team last year, Akelo Witherspoon, which some people say was the best corner on the Rams team last year. So familiarity there, bring a guy like that in. They got him on a cheap deal last year. The Atlanta Falcons may can get him on a cheap deal this year, just adding depth to that cornerback room. So um, those are the free agents, guys. And for me, personally, um, this is where I'm semi optimistic about this team because one thing the Falcons can't afford, yes, they got the quarterback down. We're going to be able to score points, but in my opinion, one thing the Falcons can't afford is to take a step back on the defensive side of the ball, right? Um, that's one of the reasons I was so excited last year because of the additions we made on the defense. And I thought this defense was going to be really good, and it was. It was top 12, defense. They was really good in stopping the run. You look, they was really the bottom of the league the year prior, and they really fixed that issue. Still had issues in the pass game. That's why pass rusher is so huge. Lost all the big names, but they got to be able to manufacture a pass rush. So, you know, or either some of our guys on this roster take a step forward. Guys like Armor Katie going into his third season, D'Angelo Malone, guys that was actually drafted, in the minor of a Dean Pease coach team, right? And last year, Ryan Nielsen came in and kind of went away from that. So maybe these guys going back to a base 3-4, maybe be able to, get back into their natural roles. We don't even know about a guy like D'Angelo Malone. So that's one of the things we definitely got to see. But the pass rush guys, in my opinion, this is why I'm like I'm saying, I'm not completely 100%. And it's just the new league year just started today, but I'm not 100% completely, you know, enthusiastic about this team right now because they got to be able to feel the needs they got. They see it, got 8 draft picks. We still got moves we can make in free agency as well. So I'm not panicking or anything like that. I just want to see what kind of moves they make moving forward to make sure they don't take that step back, because you can go out and get offense, right? Our defense played lights out last year, holding teams, keeping our team in the game until our offense started to score some points, right? And but if we take a step back, now you put more pressure back on your offense. That's not what we want to do. We want to be able to continue doing what we're doing on defense and blow teams out if that's even possible, right? So that's what I want to see. So these are some of the top names free agents, but it's a lot of more NFL players out there. Um, like I said, Bud Dupree was not even on this list. A guy that had 6.5 sacks with Atlanta Falcons last year, right? Leading the team in that category. So along with Calais Campbell, so he wasn't out there, but the Atlanta Falcons can, you know, find pieces to make this defense at least stay where it was last year. You wanted to get better. You wanted to see the improvements, in the pass rush. They could address that definitely in the draft, right, with a Dallas Turner or a Jerry Verse, either one of those guys, right, at the number 8 overall pick. So they a lot of options they can do now at that pick, because they do got the quarterback position. So it's not, you know, uh, so many different directions they can go. We still need help at the cornerback position, so they can actually go that route. Offensive line, we got guys getting older in the tooth, like a Jake Matthews, right? You're not 100% sold on a guy like Caleb McGarry, so you can still go offensive line at number 8. But I think the biggest need for the Atlanta Falcons at number 8 should be pass rush. If the value is there, you don't want to reach for guys. So if you don't have one of those guys, top 10 pick, honestly, trade back if that's all possible. And if you still want to take them, do it then. But you want to get the guys at the value that they are. So if you got guys higher, and if you want to go pass rush at the first round, trade back, and you might still be able to get one of those guys. So that's where I'm at. Um, Mike said Khalil Mack is staying in Los Angeles. Yes, he is. Right. So we got to address the pass rush. It's no doubt about it. Um, it's not done yet. Yes, names are going off the ball. So don't be upset when you don't hear that household name that the Atlanta Falcons signed. Like, who is this guy? Because, like I said, they have a good scouting department. They find diamonds in the rough, guys that fit. What these coaches want them to do, and that's what you love to see. I still like our our core guys. They still here, right? We don't know how soon Grady's going to be back 100%, right? But you still got Amayada, you got Troy Anderson back healthy, you got Nate Lemon, Kay Ellis had one of his best seasons. Jesse Bates still here, AJ Terrell still here. We love what Clark Phillip was able to show us. He's going to just get improve in that. Um, so we have pieces. I love what Zach Harrison was able to show. Armor Ebiketie, he flashed, right? He did flash. So you like to see some of those, some of these defensive guys take the next step. That's what we need. And then you add depth in those spots. So that's where I'm at, guys. I really love the way the Atlanta Falcons have done so far. But I'm keeping, like I said, my really really positive optimism until I see what they do next. Right? They don't have to fill all the holes in free agency, but when you get to the draft, you want to have an idea where you can actually do their philosophy, and that is take the best player available. So that's where I'm at with that. And last, guys, today the last thing I want to talk about, just like I said, you just if you're watching, and if you're a big fan of the NFL and you love watching football, I just love the way it's kind of laying out for us the competition this year. All these players move. I mean, you look at the running back carousel that just happened, right? With all these guys going to new teams, right? You just see how this thing is gonna gonna shape out, right? Derrick Henry going to Baltimore, right? That's so scary in so many ways, but they still got to go up against Patrick Mahomes and defending champions who's trying to three-peat, right? Um, you see what the Vegas is doing, right? They're trying to go after, Kansas City as well in the NFC West. You love the moves they made. It's guys that going to get a guy like Christian Wilkins, right? Um, bringing in a Gardner Minshew, right? We still don't know what they're going to do at a quarterback, but he's a good guy to have there, in case they want to use a bridge or something like that. Um, so that's division gonna be Jim Harbaugh coming over to the Chargers. He's gonna make those guys play better. So just looking around the league, looking at all the movement, the Houston Texans, I think have really, really had a great offseason so far. I'm glad they're in the ALC, so we don't have to worry about those guys. So, but I love what the Houston Texans been able to do. D'Amico Ryan is a rising young coach, and that defense is really going to be good this year. The Philadelphia Eagles getting Saquon Barkley, bringing back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Um, you already knew about all those young defensive guys, studs they had out of the University of Georgia. Um, you know, shoring up that offensive line, going to get a guy even after Jason Kelsey decided to retire, who's look like he's kind of contemplating maybe coming back, right? So you love what the Eagles doing. The Commanders will sneakily made a lot of great moves as well. Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner. Um, if they figure out that quarterback position, it's gonna be tough. So, Dallas got a long road ahead with those guys. Everybody picking Dallas, to still be great and be good, but they got competition in the NFC East. Um, what Green Bay was able to do by getting Josh Jacobs right, and then Aaron Jones, despite them going to the Vikings right now, they got to worry about Aaron Jones twice a year, his revenge game that he's going to have against those Packers. So you love the intrigue there. The Lions, we saw what the Lions was able to do this past season, so I don't think they're going anywhere. And then what is Chicago going to do at their quarterback position? Because you look at the moves they have made during this offseason, they have made a lot of great signings as well. Defense is going to be a whole lot better. I think their run game is going to be better. They just need to figure out the quarterback position. Will they keep Justin Fields or will they trade him away and take Caleb Williams at number one? That's really interesting to see what happened with the Chicago Bears. So the NFC North is going to be tough, and then you just come over to our division, NFC South, where um, a lot of people saying the Atlanta Falcons is favorite to win. However, if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what they was able to do by bringing back Baker Mayfield, who probably had one of his best seasons of his career, still got to worry about Mike Evans for another 2 seasons. They did trade away, one of their cornerbacks, but they're not gonna slide off by the wayside. You kind of quietly like the talent on the offensive side that the Carolina Panthers are doing for Bryce Young. They got to figure out. So you love to see that as well. And then they gave away Brian Burns, but going to get a guy like Jadavion Clowney for a stopgap, that's not a bad move as well. Um, Trading for DMJ Johnson, right? They giving Bryce Young opportunity to see what he's able to do in the long run. And then we have us, right? We have all these young talented guys on the offensive side. We'll finally get to see um, Drake London to show his skill set, show what he's able to do. We'll finally get to see Kyle Pitts get back to form. People forget he did have 1,000 yards his rookie season. He was a Pro Bowler his rookie season, so he still, I think, he had the capability to show it. Unleash Bijan, let him live up to that all that hype that he had last season, right? So the Atlanta Falcons right there, we just need to make sure that what we do in the long run is fix this defense. And I'm just going to keep saying it, fix fix this defense. You have your quarterback in place. You had to get that done. If you didn't get that done, none of the other stuff matters, right? 8 draft picks, still got moves to make before the draft come up. But I'm excited what the Atlanta Falcons going to do. So guys, that's around the league. You love all the things that Atlanta Falcons did so far. All the things that we gotta wait and see what they're gonna do. I'll be on here all week long reporting. Since there wasn't really a lot of moves today, that's pretty much all I had today, guys. Kind of a boring day for our Atlanta Falcons. No movement at all. They got the sign out there, guys. But this where we're at. New league year is here. I'm excited by it. Can't wait till the schedule come out to kind of lay out, you know, how this thing's going to shape out for our Atlanta Falcons. But still got a lot of room, a lot of things they got to fix before we get into September. It's just that simple. Guys, let me know what you think about the moves. Let me know which top free agents that you think the Atlanta Falcons should sign, right? Even give me some guys that wasn't even on the list that I talked about today, because it is some diamonds out there that they can find and put them in the right situation. They can really take off, right? And then let me know what you're excited by from this it's NFL season with all these moves that we have seen so far. Guys are getting paid. You love to see it, right? Now they got to live up to those big contracts that they don't got. That's all I have. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.